Hello everybody, welcome to Monday Morning Must Knows. My name is Merlin Rothfeld, and let's talk about the month of September. Man, S&P, Dow, Nasdaq, Russell, gold, ripping to highs. We have Bitcoin as well, finally breaking out, looking great for the month of September. But well, hold on, it's not all excitement. You had the dollar index selling off, you had the 10-year yields dropping significantly, and of course, crude oil plummeting to some new lows. So not all was rosy, although all of it represented opportunity. Now for this upcoming trading week, we do have a few things to talk about. I'm going to start things off as usual with earnings, but I'll be honest, it's incredibly light with regards to earnings. There's not a lot of companies here on this list. 151 for the week. We start things off on Monday with Carnival, in case you want those cruise liners in your portfolio. We jump to Tuesday. You've got Nike, Paychex, McCormick and Company, and Acuity Brands. On Wednesday, ConAgra Brands and Levi's, and then Thursday brings you Constellation Brands. And that, my friends, is your earnings calendar for the week. From there, we take a look at crude oil. I know it's a tough topic because it's been so volatile, been breaking down, making some new lows, and a lot of people curious as to where it's going to go from here. Now, we don't know which way it's going to go, but I can tell you that some of the more influential parties are going to be speaking this week, and you should know it because it could seriously move crude oil's price. I'm talking about the OPEC JMMC meeting. That is, the OPEC is Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, and the JMMC is the Joint Ministerial Monitoring Committee. Those groups will be meeting on Wednesday all day to talk about what they're going to do with oil. Are we going to increase production? Are we going to cut production? What sort of things are going to change? As you can understand, that's probably going to have a dramatic impact on the price of oil. So be very careful because on that Wednesday as well, you also get crude oil inventories for the United States. So it promises to be a very volatile day for oil traders. Be careful. Now, moving on down the line, we're going to go into some economic data. And of course, it's the big time data here. And that is going to be the employment, jobs data. I think we have 5 pieces to talk about for the upcoming trading week. So let's start things off early in the week. We got Tuesday at 10 a.m., the JOLTS job openings, followed closely by the ADP non-farm employment change. That's going to happen Wednesday at 8:15 a.m. Eastern Time. Thursday at 7:30 a.m., you have challenger job cuts. Also on Thursday at 8:30, you have the unemployment claim. So we've already got 4 pieces of information out there, and I've got 2 more to go to. These are the big ones here. Friday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time, you have the non-farm employment change. And finally, the big daddy is going to be that unemployment rate. And that's Friday at 8:30 a.m. Now, this is incredibly important because we have heard so much about Jerome Powell focusing on that unemployment rate and therefore maybe cutting rates 50 basis points at our previous meeting because of these numbers. Why? Well, if we take a look at that chart, you can see here it's been on a pretty nice upward trend. Of course, we don't want that. Now, right now, the number is 4.2, as you can see on the right-hand side of your screen. It's expected to stay there at this current meeting, so no change in that unemployment rate, staying at 4.2%. Now, this would be good if we stayed there and paused for a little bit and kind of stopped this big upward trajectory. Of course, the issue that I see as a trader is what is this going to do to our markets? Of course, we saw a 50 basis point cut a couple weeks ago. In a few weeks, we're going to see another 50 basis point cut. At least that's what the market is pricing in. And then in December, another 25 basis point cut. So we're going to cut by 1.25 points or 125 basis points by the end of the year. This could have a significant impact, not on the unemployment rate, but inflation. They've worked so hard to fight and push inflation down, and all of a sudden you're going to cut rates and juice that fire for inflation. It tells me of disaster going into early part of next year, but hey, it just means markets will be moving. And of course, Friday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time is when we get the big report for the week. That's the unemployment rate, so be careful for that one. Make sure you have your stops in place, you protected yourself, and that, my friends, is your Monday Morning Must Knows. We'll see you next week.